Hey guys, welcome back to Home by Christmas. We're now on Mission 7, the Battle of Unsan, and things are starting to change very quickly. It's November 2nd, 1950. The ground crews at Kimpo are struggling to keep the F-80s flying in freezing conditions, but the bigger concern is what's happening at the front. Intelligence is now reporting that the troops attacking around Unsan are Chinese. There are reports of massive attacks and even Chinese prisoners being captured. High Command still seems reluctant to accept that China has fully entered the war, but the guys on the ground are already fighting them. Today we're flying close air support for the ROC 1st Division. We're number 3 in 4 ship of F-80s, call sign Raven 3. So we take off from Kimpo and head north towards the target area. Once we arrive though, there really isn't much to see at first. The only thing immediately giving away the enemy's position is a gun constantly firing into the air. So I decide that is a good place to begin. I still cannot clearly see what exactly is down there, but fortunately Napalm does not require particularly detailed introduction. I line up the position and release. And almost at exactly the same time, another F-80 drops his napalm on the same area. So whatever was hiding down there just received a fairly convincing answer from the United States Air Force. I climb back up, circle the battlefield, and find another position close to the first one. Again, I cannot clearly identify everything on the ground, but I know it is enemy. So I come around and release the second napalm tank. This drop is much better. When I climb away and finally look across the battlefield, I realize just how much damage our flight has already delivered. There are fires everywhere. I count something like 9 different napalm strikes burning across the target area. At that point, there really isn't much of a battlefield left that has not been introduced to fire. While I'm looking around, I notice a group of small dots near the river close to a bridge. So I get low and take a closer look, and sure enough, it is a large group of enemy infantry moving towards our friendly side. So I line up the group, fire one Hvar directly into the middle of them. I get a very solid hit. After that, there honestly is not much left for us to do. The rest of the flight has already covered the area in napalm, our targets have taken a huge amount of damage, and the battlefield has gone considerably quieter. So we call it. We turn back south and head back to Kimpo. The mission ends without any more drama and we land safely. Although while editing the replay, I noticed this really cool angle from directly behind the F-80 on final approach. You can actually see the fire glowing inside the engine, and it's such a small visual detail, but it looks so cool. And that was that for Battle of Unsan. But the situation on the ground is still getting worse. 3 days later, on November 5th, it is now obvious that China is no longer simply a rumor. Thousands of Chinese troops are moving south across the border and attacking all along the front. The 1st Cavalry Division at Unsan has taken a beating and the advance north has stalled. So now the Air Force has been ordered to go after the supply network, keeping that offensive alive. This means attacking bridges, trains, road traffic, anything that moves south with supplies. Mission 8. Tunnel Rats. We begin back at Kimpo with F-80s lined up together, engines running, aircraft ready. We taxi out behind the rest of the flight, line up on the runway and take off. And this mission is all about interdiction. We're not supporting one specific group or troops anymore. We're going deep on enemy lines and try to cut the enemy supply network wherever we can. Our first target is a bridge. We approach with the rest of the flight, line up the attack and release our bombs in coordination with another F-80. The results are excellent. The bombs land directly around the bridge and completely decimates it. That crossing is not being used again, or ever. We continue north, not long after that, and we spot a train. I turned towards it and began setting up for an attack, but as I get closer I realize I'm kinda forcing this approach. So I pull away, and instead of wasting my rockets, I let my other wingmen take the chance at this target. So I fly away. Problem solved. We keep pushing north and eventually reach another small town. This time there is another train moving out of the area. And now I still have rockets. So I decide this one is mine. And I do my first pass. I completely miss by nothing. Fine. Let's try again. Another miss. I swear rockets are my worst enemy. But I still have 2 chances left. So I come around again, take a little bit more time with the angle, line it up properly, and fire the last 2. Perfect. The rockets hit right where I wanted them. So I pull away, notice a small anti-aircraft position sitting along the tree line at the edge of the town. I turn back towards it and give it a burst from the 50 cals, then climb out and head home. A relatively short mission, but a very effective one. We destroyed a bridge, destroyed a couple trains, and plenty of damage done to the supply routes feeding the offensive. We return to Kimpo, land without any problems, and mission 8 is complete. But the journal gives us one more piece of information. Something new has appeared over Korea. A swept-wing jet. Enemy aircraft have attacked both F-51s and F-80s near Sinuiju, and nobody's quite sure what they are dealing with yet. There are already rumors that the F-86 Sabre may have to be sent over from the United States. 2 days later, those rumors become much more serious. Gun camera footage has confirmed that the aircraft, a MiG-15, and according to the briefing, it has around an 80-mile-per-hour speed advantage over our F-80s. That is not ideal. There is also now evidence that the Russians are actively helping the North Koreans. Meanwhile, a major bombing campaign is being prepared against the bridges over the Yalu River. And before those bombers can go in, somebody has to deal with the air defenses around Sinuiju. That somebody is us. Mission 9. Guns of Sinuiju. We begin on the runway with 8 F-80s lined up and ready to go. And I have to say, I really like the aircraft in our flight. Our F-80s have this bright yellow identification scheme that stands out completely compared to the plain silver aircraft around us. It looks fantastic information. So we begin the takeoff roll. Our mission is suppression of enemy air defenses. Bombs, rockets, guns. Destroy as many AAA as possible before the larger raid arrives. And there is one additional detail in the briefing. Enemy jets are active in the area. So as soon as we reach Sinuiju, we understand exactly why the air defenses need to be suppressed. The whole city opens up. Tracers everywhere. Heavy AAA firing from multiple positions. The rest of the formation starts attacking immediately. Bombs are falling around the city while I circle above looking for a good target. I spot one anti-aircraft position and roll in. Bombs away. It lands right in the middle of the position and destroys part of the battery. Very good. Now I climb back out, look around and find another battery position. Second bomb, this one is even better, right on top of one of the guns. Direct hit. At this point I am feeling suspiciously accurate, so I move on to rockets. I find another AAA position, dive towards it, fire 2 bars, and once again, very good hit. Another defensive position destroyed. We climb up again, circle back, and return to one of the areas I had already attacked. This time I start with guns, then follow up with rockets. The splash damage looks good enough, so I leave it and keep searching. I notice a truck right in the middle of the road. Easy target. I line up, fire the 50 cals and destroy it. And then I make a mistake. Not really a tactical mistake, more of a personality problem. As I pull away, I look directly ahead and I see the city from almost street level. Buildings, road, destroyed vehicles, and 2 bridges across the river in the distance. And I have one very serious weakness. I cannot see an opportunity to fly ridiculously low without wanting to do it. So instead of climbing, I stayed low. Roof level low. Flying directly through the city. The sense of speed is incredible. Completely unnecessary. Absolutely worth it. I shoot through the gap, pull up slightly, and immediately spot another AAA truck. So I turn around, and at this point all I really have left is the guns. I line up the truck and open fire. And because apparently doing it once was not enough, I turn back towards the bridges and go low again. And that is when consequences arrive. I enter the city at low altitude and suddenly there's a massive explosion right beside the aircraft. One of my own wingmen has dropped a bomb on a target almost underneath me. Because I'm flying so low, the blast catches us and I am wounded. The aircraft takes some damage and for a second I genuinely had no idea how bad it is. Consequences of stupid actions. But that explosion looked freaking cool. So there is that. The F-80 is still flying, so I continue through the area and make one more low gun pass. And then I realized something else. My air brakes have been out this entire time. Excellent. I retract them and finally decide that perhaps I have spent enough time flying between buildings while surrounded by AAA and friendly bombs. So I decide to climb. I want some altitude, some visibility, and a moment to actually understand what is happening around me. And as I get higher, I notice a formation on the opposite side of the city. For a second I think, oh cool, those must be our escorts. Then I look again. They are not our escorts. They are MiG-15s. For the first time in this campaign, the MiGs are actually here. And somehow, I am in a great position. I am behind them, almost directly under 6. So I push the F-80 after them. I open fire and manage to land a few hits across 2 aircraft, but almost immediately the difference in performance becomes obvious. They just leave. They accelerate away from me like I'm standing still. I keep firing while I still have the range and a few rounds connect. Nothing important happens. The MiGs start climbing and extending, and there is simply nothing I can do about it. I try chasing them for a while, but the gap just keeps getting larger. They do not want to turn, they do not want to fight. They're happy to use the one thing they have that I cannot match: speed. And eventually I have to accept it. I am low on ammunition, the mission has already taken damage out of both the aircraft and the pilot, so I drop the external tanks and start heading home. It is frustrating. The first MiG-15s of the campaign finally appear. I get behind them, I even hit them, and they simply run away. But honestly, that probably tells us more about what is coming than a dogfight will have. The F-80 has finally met something cannot simply chase. By the time we get back to Kimpo, the lights are almost gone, so the final part of the mission becomes a night landing. We approach the runway in the dark, bring the F-80 down, and thankfully finish the mission without adding another destroyed aircraft to the campaign. The mission is complete. Which means I have a feeling the next few missions are going to become considerably more interesting. Or so I hope so, because we're almost done with the campaign. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everybody who has been following Home by Christmas, leaving comments, giving feedback, and supporting these videos. This one covered 3 missions, so let me know what you thought about the pacing. I'm trying to keep the campaign moving without cutting out the moments that actually matter, and your feedback genuinely helps me figure out the balance. And of course, we finally saw the MiG-15, so let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you in the next sortie. Ciao!